Part 1. The Web of Deceit. In the heart of Paris, a sinister web of conspiracy was being woven. The once beautiful city of lights had fallen into darkness, its citizens oblivious to the malevolent forces at work. It all began with the rise of a seemingly legitimate political party, the Parti de l'Avenir. Promising hope and prosperity, they quickly gained power, capturing the hearts and minds of the French people. What the public didn't know was that behind this facade lay the nefarious machinations of a malicious underworld crime syndicate known only as L'Obscurite. L'Obscurite was not your typical crime syndicate. They possessed knowledge that transcended the boundaries of the ordinary. Their ultimate goal was to control the minds of the entire French population. Their arsenal consisted of AI-driven advertisements that subtly manipulated behavior, media censorship to control the narrative, and insidious mind control devices. Part 2. The Demonic Deception. Deep beneath the bustling streets of Paris, in hidden chambers that reeked of ancient secrets, L'Obscurite delved deeper into the dark arts. The syndicate had unearthed a ritual of unspeakable power, one that allowed them to summon demons from the abyss. These demons were not the horned, grotesque creatures of myth and legend. They were eerily human-like, blending seamlessly into the fabric of society. L'Obscurite had discovered that the longer humans stood in proximity to these demons, the more their sanity crumbled. It was as if the demons whispered twisted secrets directly into their souls, causing their minds to unravel. At first, the changes were subtle, a twitch of the eye, an unexplainable compulsion. But over time, those exposed to the demons became empty vessels, ready to obey any command. The syndicate used these demons as their most insidious weapon. They infiltrated the government, the media, and even the highest echelons of society. As they mingled with politicians, journalists, and influential figures, they whispered their poison into receptive minds, ensuring that the world remained oblivious to the impending catastrophe. Paris, the city of love and art, had become a breeding ground for malevolence. The demons roamed its picturesque streets, their smiles as charming as their motives were sinister. They attended lavish parties, rubbed shoulders with celebrities, and held powerful positions within the government, all while quietly sowing the seeds of chaos. One fateful night, as Sophie and her resistance fighters delved deeper into their investigation, they stumbled upon a hidden chamber beneath the Louvre Museum. There, they witnessed the chilling sight of a demonic ritual in progress. Hooded figures chanted ancient incantations as a portal to the abyss slowly cracked open. It was then that Sophie understood the true nature of the demons' power. The demons were not just controlling the minds of the French population, they were also feeding off their despair, their fear, and their madness. It was a symbiotic relationship, one that allowed the demons to grow stronger with each passing day. As the resistance fighters fled the chamber, pursued by demonic assailants, they realized the magnitude of the danger they faced. The demons were not mere pawns, they were the architects of the impending catastrophe. The battle for Paris had just begun, and the outcome would determine not only the fate of the city but the entire world. Part 3. Unraveling the Nightmare. As Sophie and her small band of resistance fighters delved deeper into their investigation, they uncovered layers of deception that revealed the extent of L'Obscurite's malevolence. Sophie, with her expertise in computer science, discovered the sinister role of AI-driven advertisements. These seemingly innocuous ads, scattered across the internet and TV screens, contained subliminal messages and psychological triggers. They manipulated desires, fears, and behaviors, nudging individuals towards compliance and servitude. With evidence in hand, Sophie realized that the very fabric of society had been woven into a tapestry of manipulation. Media censorship. The resistance fighters also uncovered a labyrinthine network of media censorship. Journalists who had dared to investigate the truth had mysteriously disappeared or been silenced. Newspapers, television stations, and online platforms were under the syndicate's control, ensuring that only their narratives and propaganda reached the public. The truth was buried beneath layers of disinformation and deceit. As Sophie continued her research, she stumbled upon the insidious mind control devices that L'Obscurite had clandestinely distributed throughout the city. These devices emitted subtle frequencies that disrupted cognitive function, making it easier for the demons to infiltrate and manipulate the minds of the populace. Those who wore these devices unknowingly surrendered their free will, becoming puppets in the hands of their unseen masters. As the resistance fighters closed in on the truth, they faced increasing threats from both the human agents of L'Obscurite and the demonic infiltrators. The demons, sensing their imminent exposure, grew more desperate in their efforts to maintain their grip on Paris. The battle between the resistance fighters and the demons intensified, both in the physical world and within the minds of the citizens. It was a race against time as Sophie and her comrades raced to expose L'Obscurite's nefarious plot to the world. The demons, using their twisted charm and supernatural abilities, attempted to sabotage the resistance's efforts, leading to a series of harrowing confrontations in the city's shadowy alleys and clandestine meeting spots. Sophie's unwavering determination to reveal the truth and break the syndicate's stranglehold on Paris gave her and her comrades the strength to persevere, even as they faced unimaginable horrors. The city itself seemed to cry out for salvation as it teetered on the brink of despair. In this tumultuous battle between light and darkness, hope flickered like a candle in the wind. The resistance fighters had glimpsed the heart of the nightmare, but the true horror was yet to be revealed in the climactic confrontation that would decide the fate of Paris and, ultimately, the world. Part 4. The Tragic End. The battle between the resistance fighters and the leaders of l'Obscurite reached its cataclysmic climax in the heart of Paris, a city that had once symbolized the pinnacle of human culture and civilization. Streets were ablaze, buildings crumbled, and the air was thick with the acrid stench of destruction. Sophie, her comrades, and the demonic leaders faced off in a desperate struggle that transcended the physical realm. The very fabric of reality seemed to warp and twist as the forces of light and darkness clashed. With each incantation and counterspell, the city itself seemed to groan in agony. In the midst of the chaos, Sophie's group unveiled a powerful artifact, an ancient relic that had the potential to disrupt the demonic ritual that had ensnared the minds of countless Parisians. As they activated the relic, a blinding surge of light emanated from its core, pushing back the encroaching darkness. But the demons, sensing the threat to their dominion, fought back with unparalleled ferocity. The battle was fierce and unrelenting, and the streets of Paris became a surreal battleground where the laws of physics bent and twisted, and reality itself hung in the balance. As Sophie and her comrades strained against the malevolent forces, they glimpsed the true horror of the demons' plans. The creatures sought not only to conquer France but to spread their influence across the world. Their ultimate aim was to turn humans into their primary food source, a subservient and docile herd, thanks to the extensive brainwashing they had imposed. In a heart-wrenching moment of clarity, Sophie realized the full extent of the tragedy that had befallen her beloved city. The demons had already succeeded in their insidious plot, and the people of Paris were forever lost to the abyss. Their minds were now irreversibly fractured, enslaved to the demons' will. As the battle raged on, a sense of hopelessness permeated the air. The resistance fighters fought valiantly, but it became increasingly evident that their efforts were in vain. The demons, weakened but still formidable, unleashed a final, devastating attack that shattered the relic and sent shockwaves of darkness rippling outward. In the end, Sophie and her comrades were overwhelmed. The demonic leaders gloated in their apparent victory, their twisted grins revealing their triumph over the feeble forces of humanity. Paris lay in ruins, a testament to the horrors that had unfolded beneath its once glorious streets. The tragic ending was undeniable. The City of Lights was reduced to a desolate wasteland, its citizens forever trapped in a nightmarish existence. The survivors, if any remained, were left to mourn the loss of their city and the countless lives that had been consumed by the darkness.